Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Agnes and I'm a family medicine physician. And welcome to Talk with Dr. Agnes show, where medicine meets humanity, where lived experience sparks meaningful conversation, where story inspires hope, and together we rise. I am so excited this week. It is my birthday week, so happy birthday to me. I am so excited to share a meaningful conversation with Mrs. Busola Adeniji. She is the Director of Finance and Administration at the Halifax Chamber of Commerce. Busola, you're welcome to the show. Welcome, Busola, to the show. What was impressive was your bio. When I read it and I was like, wow, I was truly inspired.
Really?
I was like, I need to talk with this woman, this amazing woman. And here you are on our show.
Yeah, thank
I just
you
want
so
to say
much
thank
for
you.
having me. Yeah.
I am really honored that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's go back to the beginning, the very beginning.
Okay.
So growing up in Ikere,
You've pronounced it well.
really?
Yes.
Ekiti, and studying at the University of Ibadan. What experiences early in life shaped the woman that you are today?
So I actually didn't grow up in Ikere-Ekiti. I didn't grow up there. I was born there to two illiterate farmers. And before I was 5, I was the last of 6 children for my mom. Before I was 5, my older brother, who was 19 years older than me, came back from the UK. He had gotten the scholarship and he was in the UK. He came back and took me with him to go to the UK. He was about 24. And obviously, when he got to the UK, he couldn't cope with me. So he brought me back to Nigeria with the hope of putting me in a boarding school. I'm really thankful that I didn't end up in the boarding school because I was less than 5. I don't think that would have been good for me, my personality. He was staying with his friend in a flat, and a family was living upstairs. And to cut the long story short, I ended up living with this family, and I lived with them till I got married. And
so they're not blood related.
We're not blood related. We're not blood related. I used to go upstairs to play with their sons, and he must have just told them that, okay, he wanted to take me to the boarding house. And my mom, who I ended up growing up with, just told him to leave me with her. And he would send my upkeep money. And I grew up with them. I adopted their name. I grew up with them. It sounds like a fairy tale, but that's what actually happened to me.
So help me to understand here.
Yeah.
Do you share the same last name with your brother?
I share the same last name. My brother is my blood brother. He was the first son of my parents, and there are 4 other girls between myself and him. There's 19 years between us. So yeah, it sounds like a fairy tale story. Yeah, but that's what actually happened. It's very unusual. Yeah, but.
So how did all of this, living with a family that adopted you and, shape the woman that you are today?
So I can't quite remember how old I was, but I remember that my first birthday there I was probably 6. So I would have been with them maybe by the time I was 5.5. I knew that they were not my family. But there was a time in my life that I got a bit confused. That I'm like, are they actually lying to me? Maybe she's actually my mom and they are lying. It was maybe a little bit of time that I felt a bit in that confusion. So they were nice to me. That's what I can say.
They took care of you. Yeah, they loved you.
Yeah, they were nice to me, but I always knew that they were not my family. It's not. I was old enough to know that, and I think that kind of puts a pressure on me. When you don't live with your family, you're at a spotlight to be good, not to create
to
problem.
be on your best behavior.
Yeah. So I think like when you have your friends' kids over, they are at their best behavior. So I think I was forced to be at my best behavior for all my life.
And
So
did that put any pressure on you?
I think it did. Looking back, I think it did. It's made me take on responsibility quite early. You know, I didn't want to create any problem in a family that they were helping me. You know, that I didn't want to be a problem child. Yes. So I remembered I was quite responsible quite early. I had a time that I would study. I had a time that I would clean the house. I had a time that I would cook. And I took up those responsibilities quite early in life. Like maybe by the time I was 11, I was already taking up all the responsibilities of running the home for my mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when you say mom, that's your adopted mom?
Yes. I must say that I'm a mom, and I think that it's quite important to say, and people can have different opinion, but my opinion is whoever trains the child is the mother of the child.
Exactly.
That's just my opinion. I feel that anybody can birth a child, but mothering a child is the real sacrifice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The parenting.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable sharing, the reason you grew up with your adopted mom, was that due to economic challenges?
So at that point, I look back now, my brother is late. I can't ask him all these questions, and I've lost him for a long time. But when I look back, I think that my brother sent money for my upkeep. So it wasn't financial. It wasn't financial. My brother got to a position that he was a very successful man.
Doing fairly
he
well.
was doing great, and he was a blessing to my family. You know, he took us out of poverty. I would say that I think he didn't want me to go back to Ikere. He wanted me to have more exposure. It was more of the exposure. And I felt that my brother felt that it was good for me to have this exposure and also be underneath the tutelage of my mother. My
adopted mom.
My mom. Yeah, my mom, you know, be underneath her tutelage, that I was going to learn a lot more. I was going to be exposed to more things in Ibadan compared to Ikere.
Opportunities as well.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it. It's a different type of story. It makes me unique.
Exactly.
I think that as a child, I probably struggled with that. I wasn't happy that I was different. I wanted to be like everybody. But I look back. Our unique journeys actually mold
and
who
shape
we are, and that difference is very important. Yes. So it kind of teaches me to be kinder to people. Because anybody can be better than you. You might think you're better than somebody right now, but in 3 years' time, the person that you're not kind to might end up being the person that that has to help you out.
Yeah.
So it teaches that. It taught me humility. It taught me humility, yeah. And it taught me the fact that God is great. That, you know, he can use anything. He can do anything. He can give you, he uses opportunities to make us who we are. Yeah.
Good.
So I ended up, I don't think if I had stayed in Ikere, I would have been who I am today. You know, I ended up being friends to people that their parents are professors, their parents are doctors, their parents are directors in the government sector. I don't think I would have had that exposure. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm grateful for my brother having that kind of
foresight.
It's not easy for a 23-year-old
to make that decision.
to think like that.
Yeah.
That is a lot of sacrifice, self-sacrifice, and
insight.
And I'm also lucky and grateful that I ended up in a good family. I ended up with good people. There were times that I didn't see my brother. I hardly saw my parents when I was growing up, my biological parents. I hardly saw them when I was growing up. But I used to see my brother, you know, maybe he visited, he was still living in the UK, and eventually he moved to Nigeria, and he was living in Lagos, which is like 1.5 hours from Ibadan. And I thought, okay, my brother is now married, I should probably go and live with him. It didn't take me to live with him. I still lived with my Taylor family. So I was born to be the last born in my family, and then ended up being the firstborn in this family with 2 boys.
Yeah.
Growing up with 2 brothers is a different ballgame.
That's another story. I have 2 boys.
Yes.
It's funny enough that you said you were surrounded, you were surrounded with professors, families, that's director, but then you are a director of finance and administration at the Halifax Chamber of Commerce today.
I'm grateful. It's been a long, where I come from, where I am right now does not tell the story of where I come from. Mm-hmm. My parents couldn't write their names, and I'm here.
Look at
living living a life that, funny enough, I remember as a child, when I was quite small, like maybe when I was 3.5 or 4, my mom would say that I would end up being a citizen of 2 nations. She was just a Christian. She used she just used to prophesy. She couldn't read. But, I'll come back with the best grades in school, and she will give me the biggest piece of fish in her pot. And she will tell me that I'm going to end up being with Oyibos.
That's
my mother
people.
said so.
Yeah.
My mother said so. And when people tell me, my chain is so long, she'll be like, that is how Oyibos...
Oyibo is white people. Yeah.
So my mother, I lost my mom my biological mom 23 years ago, and she couldn't read, but she had that prophecy and that drive, and maybe that is what allowed her to be able to leave me, to be able to.
She knew possibly maybe she couldn't provide the future that she knew.
I think she trusted my brother,
of course,
and she believed in his vision. Because as a mom, I'm like, I can't release my child. But I think she was able to release me with God's prayer
and protection.
And God's prayer and protection that I will be well. Giving up a child is not an easy thing.
Yeah.
So I want to also celebrate my biological mom for being willing and strong enough to let me go.
Sacrificial.
Yeah, to let me go. Yeah, it wasn't out of love. It wasn't out of lack of love.
Yeah,
it was more of, this is better for her.
She had a big dream for her little girl. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And your career journey has taken you across Nigeria, the UK, and Canada. Looking back, what were some defining moments that stretched you and shaped your leadership journey today?
So I'm a Christian, so I'll continue to make references to my faith. Mm-hmm. The only place that will be perfect will be heaven. Mm-hmm. But in those 3 places that I've lived, I've learned to look at the good. I'm grateful that I grew up in Nigeria. It helped me to build my resilience. It helped me to be extremely hardworking. There's nothing that I put my mind to that I don't think I can achieve. I will work as hard as I can and achieve it. I think that is driven by my Nigerian blood.
Yeah. And your experiences, your resilience from childhood.
Yes. It's, we Nigerians do not really make excuses. We find a way around the problem.
Solving.
We find a way around it. I like that. So when my brother convinced me to leave my initial career path and go into accounting, I just sat with GMAT, and I did GMAT and ended up in KPMG, and I was like, I'm really enjoying this, and I never looked back into my initial career path. I just went into KPMG. KPMG built my confidence,
that's an accounting firm.
The consulting firm, the accounting firm in Nigeria. It built my confidence and just helped me to see that whatever role you're doing, you do that role well, because your team is depending on you. Yeah. So no matter how difficult a tax complication, a tax service is, if you as the lowest team member that needed to post that letter to your clients, if you don't do your part, everybody fails.
Yeah.
So even though that looks like a small thing, but doing it well is important. Yeah, so I learned that in Nigeria. I'm grateful for that. Going to the UK, I will talk from my own experience. I don't think that I struggled. The UK stretched me in another way that I didn't think it was possible. I felt that it was quite a lot of struggle to belong, even though you're doing your best. There's this unseen rule that you are still not part of the system. So you do your best. I got my accounting qualification in the UK, but I don't think I had all the opportunities that I wanted. And
based on your qualifications?
Yes, based on my qualifications, I just didn't get the opportunities. And this is what I always say: you can do your best, but you need people to trust you to give you the opportunity. So coming to Canada, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be in Canada. Canada continues to be a place where I see other people even giving opportunities. They are quite open. That is my experience, I'm saying. Other people might have different experience, but my experience is that I think that the Canadian system celebrates immigration. They give you immigrants, they give you opportunities. And I've been lucky and I'm favored and I'm blessed that, I've been able to see these opportunities, yes.
And take advantage of it.
And take advantage. So wherever you find yourself, how that community can also shape your life. Yeah. So I don't think I really enjoyed that in terms of my career path or my leadership path while I was in the UK. But I think I'm enjoying it better in Canada.
You're home now. Yeah. Okay. So outside of finance and leadership, many people may not know you are also passionate about cooking and baking. Yeah. And you even appeared on season 1 of CTV Cross Country Cake Off in 2022. Yeah. Tell us about that experience and what inspired you to do it.
So my mom, she's one of the best cook, and she's the one who also taught me my initial baking journey. So we would bake and do all that. So I have always had that, and cooking for me is like a relief. It's something that I would do if I'm pressured,
Like a stress reliever.
Yeah, I would try different recipes, but I got that from my mom. She was so good about food. Food was, very, very important for me when I was growing up. So when we moved here in 2020, it was during the pandemic, and it was meeting people was difficult. And I was doing my cake business by the side on my, as a side also. And one of my clients, one of my customers reached out and told me that, will I want to join a cake-off show? I have been watching the Bake Off in the UK, and I like it. Yeah. It's a big thing in the UK. Yes, I used to watch it, and I liked it.
It's like a signature family program,
and I liked it. But my son always tells me, my son is in the audience right now. He always tells me, "Oh, Mom, you are not good with baking. You are not good with cake. You are not good with bread." So I was like, okay, I'm not good with bread. Oh, Mom, you can't bake bread, because there's a session in Bake Off that has bread, the bread week. Yeah. So he always tells me, oh, you're not good with bread. So when my customer reached out about cake, I was like, okay, I don't have to do bread, so this is going to be better. Yeah. I think I decided to do it because I was bored. Yes,
it was a pandemic after all.
Yeah, it was the pandemic, and we were coming out of the pandemic, but I was still bored and maybe lonely. I just moved and I didn't know people, and I was working remotely. So I was just like, okay, I will do something different. So I decided to do that. Yeah.
That was brave of you, an immigrant.
I didn't see it.
How long had you been in Canada then? Less than 2 years?
Less than a year.
Less than a year?
Yeah, less than a year.
That's
to be
so
honest,
brave.
I didn't even see it. I didn't see it like something scary. I didn't see how big it was. I just went in to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any form of anxiety doing it, or any type of pressure or stress. I didn't see how big it was until it was aired.
Yes.
So,
Sometimes if you don't know too much of something, it's actually a blessing.
Yes.
Because if you knew how big it was, and
maybe
it was
I would
really
have
big.
been scared and said I didn't
I don't
want
think
to
you would
do.
have said no. I think your
Yeah.
passion for baking, which is innate in you, would have propelled you forward and you would have made that decision.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you wear many hats, obviously. Your wife, your husband is in the audience, and your son. And by the way, your husband and I are classmates. We went to the same medical school.
Yeah, I knew you in school.
Exactly. We went to the same medical school. And so he's my classmate. You have a lovely husband, by the way.
He's a good man.
He's a great man. Yeah. And you're also, like I said, a mother, leader, community member. How do you balance ambition, family life, and still create space for yourself?
Very difficult question. Yeah. I don't think I always get it right, but I always know that my family is the most important thing. I always try to be like, okay, my family is important. Then there are some other things that are also important. Showing up for my friends, they're important. Being available. And there are and being available for people is time sensitive. So if my friend needs me, that's time sensitive. My family will always be important. I think I've been lucky to have a man that allows me to show up for my friends, to show up for people, and still hold our family when I have to do things outside. So I would say that I've just been lucky, I always make my family important. I always want somebody to be at home with my kids. I don't like them being alone for too long. If I can't be there, I want a trusted adult, another trusted adult to be there. So I think I've just been favored. I always think that there is a time to show up for your friend. It might not be the most convenient time, but you have to just make it work. Because if your friend is going through a difficult time and you just say, oh, I'm busy, you are not showing up for that friend. Yeah. So that's why I say that I've been lucky that my husband allows me. He creates the space in my family for me to be able to do that, to be able to, he will sit with me if I have to cook extra for my friend. He will sit and wait for me, or he will, or my sister or my family will hold for me to show up in other spaces. And timing is important. What phase of life are you? What phase of life is your family? When my kids were much younger, I had to be more selfish with ensuring that our family time is safer, because they needed me more, for assignments, to do other things. Now my older son is in the university. My younger son does not really need me to help him with his school assignments. He might ask me for my opinion on a project.
So like indirect supervision, like he's got it.
So I have that more time, and that's why I can do other things like be a treasurer, volunteer my skills, for other organizations. I can put up that type of things outside of work. So I think you have to know what is important at different phases of your family life, and always prioritize your family. Yeah, I think it's very important.
I'm just going to share this. This is just off script, but I'm already tearful a little bit. So there was a time, our sons were in the same basketball team. And I think I need to publicly give you your flowers because I don't know what was going on, but I think we were not even that close then, sort of. But you notice that I would drop my son, then I have to rush off to go and pick up the other one, and then drop that one at home and come back for the son. So like was back and forth. I don't know I didn't say anything, but one day you came up to me and said, I am happy to pick up my son, Ollie, and also your husband. And both of you took that pressure off me. So, but what I wanted to ask is, why did you come up to me to offer to help? I didn't say anything to you. But what drew you to that?
I think that except we want to lie to ourselves is when you say that you don't notice when somebody is struggling.
Yeah.
Human beings, we can see. We might decide that, oh, it's not my problem, or she's coping. But if you can help, I knew that it was going to have like 30 more minutes for me to pick this person. But I had that, I could give you that 30 minutes. So I felt, oh, this lady is doing it all by herself. Can I help out with my own 30 minutes here and there to give her some free time? So I would say that people have an opportunity to be kind.
Yes.
If they don't want to take up that opportunity, it's not because they don't see it.
Yeah.
It's just because they want to be selfish with their time. People can see. People can see. So there are lots of opportunities in life for us to be kind, if we want to take it up.
Yeah.
So that's why I said that there's a time for everything. There's a time that you can show up for your friend. And there's a time that you might think you want to show up, but they don't really need your help anymore.
Yeah.
Because you didn't help them when they needed your help.
Yeah.
So helping people is time sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just continue to pray that we can be of help at the right time.
Yes.
Yeah.
With something fun segment, because I need these tears to dry up. Okay. Yeah. So what's your favorite country, the favorite country you visited?
Yeah. That's a bit difficult because the countries have different things. But if I want to choose, I will go with Dubai and Croatia. And I know you asked for just one, but I will choose two. I love the Dubai is so vibrant, and you can find your own space. There's something for everyone. It's a country that wants to show off.
Of course.
bling everywhere. Yes, and that is the exact opposite reason why I like Croatia. Croatia was so raw.
Yeah.
Was so like a virgin land. And we had to walk and walk. I like that as well. It was just so beautiful in its raw state. Yeah. So those two countries, yes.
Yeah.
They're top of my list. Yeah.
And as a baker that you are, so what's your favorite thing to bake? Now we know you're not quite good at bread.
No.
But what's your favorite thing that you enjoy baking?
I love baking carrot cake. It's my husband's favorite, and I know I'm very, very good at it. In fact, that was the flavor that got me on the cake off. That was the flavor, and the lady was like, she thinks I should trademark this.
Wow.
It was that good, and I know I'm really good. I'm a wizard.
I love that. And it's know what you're good at.
I know I'm a wizard in carrot cake. But I also like baking meat pies. Those are my guilty pleasures.
Our Nigerian pasties, right?
Nigerian pasties, Nigerian meat pie. I bake cakes, but cake cannot lead me into temptation.
But meat pie?
But meat pie.
Same here. And it's so filling, so juicy, like, the minced meat.
Yes.
I think the Canadians call it something else here. We call it minced meat in the UK. They call it, what's that thing they call it now? I remember.
They don't not call it minced meat as well. Okay.
Help me here. What do you guys call it? Ground beef.
Okay.
I knew it was different.
Okay.
Yes.
I love it.
And the carrots and the potatoes.
And just make it juicy.
Juicy, yes. Not dry.
Yes, and I always add pepper to mine.
Of course, Nigerians.
It's kicking. It's kicking on all levels.
The meat pie is kicking.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. So are you a tea person or coffee person?
Definitely tea.
Definitely tea.
Yeah.
I think it's that England thing. But when I tried coffee, it makes me, jittery. So anything, any day, anytime, tea.
Every time I try to taste coffee, I try to try it. I try to force myself to love it because so many people drink it with so much passion.
Yes.
So every time I try,
yeah,
I don't know why. I can't, it's just not sitting with me.
It's not compatible with your taste buds.
It's just so bitter. No amount of sugar makes it better. So tea.
Oh my God, I love the smell.
Yeah.
No matter how they say this is vanilla latte, I mean, when I taste it, I'm like, oh, please, bring my tea. Anyway, tea for me anytime. Anyway, we've been having fun today, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank FTDC's restaurant for catering for the cast and crew of Talk with Dr. Agnes show. I will be right back. So welcome back. If you're just joining us, I've been having a lovely conversation with Mrs. Busola Adeniji. She is the Director of Finance and Administration at the Halifax Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back. All right. So, growing up in Nigeria, what's one health myth or belief you heard often as a child and you later realized that it wasn't true?
One that stands out to me, and I think I must have mentioned it while we're talking, is the fact that every person, every couple that struggled with fertility issue, they usually blamed the woman.
Yeah.
So the woman took all the blame,
and shame and stigma.
and all the shame and the stigma. I think, and I've said it while we were talking now, that you don't have to birth a child to be a mother.
Yeah.
If you do struggle, there are other avenues, in my opinion.
Of course.
And I was raised by somebody that wasn't my mom.
With the V, it has to go through there. You have to brought the child through the
there are so many
outlet,
things. Yeah,
avenue, whatever.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. But thank you so much for shining light on that.
Yeah.
The more we talk about this, the more we empower women and to explore, to be confident, more confident to come out and explore other alternatives. There has to be education and enlightenment around this. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you. So was there any home remedy or cultural health practice, there are many, you grew up with, that you still believe in, or maybe one you laugh about now?
My mom was a very posh person. She was in another generation from, so I didn't really have that. But I can say things like, people who drink agbo.
So like this herbal
concoction that has no scientific backing. It will solve headache. It will solve reproductive issues. It will solve kidney problem. How can one medicine solve all
the
these
health
problems, even
ailments.
if we were not educated. So, that is a very strange belief and things that people
But people
ran
still
with.
swear they believe.
People believed in it, and people did it and caused severe damage.
Of course,
to their
kidney damage. When UCH in University College Hospital,
Yes.
they will see them
Yes.
and will be actually in the renal ward, in the kidney ward, and be wondering what happened. They'll have black-colored urine and weight loss and everything.
It can't be true
Yeah.
that one medicine can solve all the problems that is possible for somebody to have.
And also, we need more evidence, more research, because the quantity may be too much and they don't have any, he hasn't been through like the scientific rigor to be able to determine whether this is safe for even consumption.
Yes.
And if it's safe for consumption, how much is safe?
Yes.
What are the side effects? Like, we need a lot of information.
Yes.
But this has been going on for decades and decades, and people up till today. There were times that they used to bathe children with eczema with this agbo thing.
And they still drink it. It's still supposed to be, people are still supposed to drink it, and it's still supposed to solve headache, body ache, back pain, reproductive issues, diabetes, everything.
Yeah,
How
everything.
Can one solution, one
herb
solve all these problems?
And they will boil it in hot water. It will be piping hot. You will see the roots and everything. And it's like, yes, drink it. It's really hot. And you're sweating, perspirating there. And they say, drink this,
That means it's working.
Oh, my God, dear me. All right. And if you could bust one health myth today for our audience, especially, one many of us grew up hearing, what would it be and what would you want people to know instead?
So I'm very passionate about the woman. Yeah. I think that in our culture, we expect a woman to give birth and to just continue life like she has not given birth. I would say that the process of child delivery and childbirth,
pregnancy,
is a very intense thing on a woman's body. So I think your culture, we come from Nigeria, but we are different culture.
Yes.
You are Igbo and I'm Yoruba. I think your culture kind of gets it because your culture does this omugu
yes.
that they send
your mom to come and
help you for like 3 months.
Yeah, minimum.
I think for like
and they will take care of you, take care of the baby, especially. That's their job.
Yeah.
When they come, they just take the baby from you. They only bring the baby for feeding.
Yes,
and
but they also
you have
take
the
care
rest.
of you.
Yes,
they take care of you. They cook,
the soups, everything, the pepper soups.
I think that my culture needs to borrow that from your culture, because my culture does not do that. My culture assumes that the woman can just continue to take care of everything, and that assumption is not good.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be, if you cannot cook for the woman that has just given birth, and you cannot iron and take care of the house while she rests for like a certain amount of time, then you shouldn't be with her.
Yeah.
And that is quite important. Even the farmers that their cows give birth, they allow that cow to rest. Talk less of human beings. So we need to challenge this.
Exactly.
And I think Gen Zs will not take that. I love it and love it for Gen Zs.
Yeah.
They know what is right. They fight for what is right, and they demand for what is right.
Exactly.
It's very, very important.
Not in our generation when we're suffering in silence.
Yeah, smiling and suffering. Yeah. So if I could change that and educate people, so I'm calling my aunties. They are not that educated. I'm calling them and telling them, oh, you are with your daughter-in-law. Make sure you are helping her.
Yes,
make sure
you are.
If you cannot help her, don't go.
Yeah.
And that's quite important.
Useful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that we women should stand up for what is good.
Yes.
Because somebody did it to us, or because we survived it, does not mean it must continue. Let's question every culture that we are passing on. Because we can change it. Culture can be changed.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be stagnant.
After all, it's a way of people living. It's a way of
and when
life.
people know better, they should do better.
Yeah.
So demand it, be a voice of influence.
An advocate,
Yes. To demand that the right thing is done.
Yeah. Because there's a lot
Yes.
going on through around the puerperal period.
Yes.
You're talking about postpartum blues,
Yes,
postpartum depression,
yes. It's
and
just
a lot
that
of
you are
things.
even
Fatigue,
tired.
just
You're
extreme
tired,
fatigue.
yes.
You still
So
having
you cannot
the
just be you cannot just be as normal.
No.
And we shouldn't demand it that it's as normal.
No.
No. We should demand good
Exactly.
for others, even if we didn't get that good.
Exactly. There was a video I saw on TikTok. This woman was heavily pregnant. I think her due date was imminent. The husband went and basically he catered. He got jollof rice, big trays, fried rice, soups, everything. She didn't know. By the time she came home, she burst into tears that this has taken the weight off cooking and everything. The husband portioned all the foods in food plates and, for the freezer. And just basically, she was like, for 1 month, I'm going to put my feet up rather, and just, take it easy and enjoy.
And just enjoy your child.
Yeah.
Every woman wants to be in a position that she's actually holding that child.
Yeah.
Not running around.
Bonding. That's the period for
holding
bonding.
That child
Not for
by
chores.
herself. Not chores. Not cooking for every other person.
People that came to visit you, and then you have to stand up to cook and entertain them.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We really went through a lot.
But we shouldn't do the same.
Exactly.
We cannot do the same.
No.
We should break that pattern. It's a wrong pattern. Your culture has gotten it right.
Yes.
To some extent, they've gotten it right. We Yorubas need to learn.
Yeah.
We don't have a choice.
We don't
These
have a
Gen
choice.
Zs will not take it.
Oh, yes.
And I'm really happy for them. demanding not to be maltreated, demanding not, it's
not to
very
take
good.
nonsense like we say it in Nigeria.
Yes, it's good.
So who has been your greatest role model in life, and how have they influenced the woman that you are today? You've talked about your mom, but who else? And you talked about your brother. So tell us.
I haven't spoken about my brother that much.
Uh-huh.
It's my brother. My brother is...
What's his name?
Okay, so my brother's name is... I lost my brother 21 years ago.
I'm sorry.
He was Wole Afolabi. Yeah. So I used to call him Brother Wole because he was 19 years older than me. So my brother is my hero. And I would say 3 instances that you would have to agree with me.
I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You have to agree with me.
Yeah. You saw the fact that I told you how sacrificial my brother is. So in bringing me, that's sacrificial love is the extreme form of love. Yeah. My brother didn't have any reason to do it. He could be enjoying himself in
and send money to you when he can.
Me, but he decided to give of himself. Yes. And my brother would say something, while I was growing up. He would say things like, if you think about the stress you go through to kill an elephant, you end up eating that elephant by yourself. And you fall ill in the process. And other people that are looking at you eating that elephant alone would dislike you. So what does that say? It's saying that even though you struggle, your struggle is not just for you.
No,
you have
for
to
the people
think
behind
about other people. You have to call other people that might have been sleeping while you were killing that elephant to come and join you to eat that elephant. That's the only way you can
spread the love.
You can spread the love. The elephant will go around more people.
Yeah.
Even though you were the one who struggled to kill it. Then you will say another thing. You will say, if you think about yourself alone, you will not produce your best.
Yeah. It takes a village.
If you think about just yourself, not even in the village sense, if you think about yourself alone, you will not produce the ultimate that you can produce. So it's trying to say that whatever decision you want to make, you have to consider the other people that love you.
Yeah.
When you consider other people that love you, in an instance, $10 might be enough for you. But when you consider, oh, my mom loves me, she will need $5. My brother loves me, he will need $2. Then you can work harder to get $17 so that you can keep $10 for yourself and $5 for
your mom,
for the other people. So you always have to think about the people who love you in every decision that you make. Yeah. Don't just think about yourself. Yeah. If you think about yourself alone, $10 will be enough.
Yeah.
But you have the capacity to make $17. Yeah.
So that should be the motivation to keep striving to become the best version of yourself. Just because you
are thinking about the people who love you.
Yeah.
You're not just thinking about yourself. And we can also think about it in or outside of finances. If you want to make a decision, you're not just thinking about myself. I'm thinking, how will this decision affect my sons? How will this decision affect my husband? How will this decision affect my Christian sisters?
Yes.
You're thinking about not just you. You can be selfish when it comes to you. Yeah. Oh, this is what I want and this is what I want. No. But when you think, my decision will affect my children, my decision will affect my husband, then you would want to be a person of integrity. Yeah. You want to be seen to do things right. Because you don't want other people insulting your children based on your own decisions. Yeah. Then my brother too, he taught me how kindness is very important. My brother was extremely kind and treated people so nicely. His Megad lived with him while he was...
When you say Megad, that's the gate man, the security. Yeah, for those of you who don't know.
His security man worked with him for 25 years, about 25 years before he died. That guy also still stayed for another 10 years before the security man died himself. So what am I saying? I'm saying that kindness is a currency that buys loyalty. If you treat people nicely,
with respect.
If you treat people nicely, they always remember. And they try to go out of their way. I know that human beings can be irrational. You cannot say because you treated somebody well, they will do well.
No.
But the majority of people will sit down and think that this person was so good to me, this person was so good to me. It's a currency for loyalty. Yeah. And so treating people kindly is so important to me. The third way my brother influenced me is fashion.
Yes, I know.
Showing up well.
Yes.
My brother had the most shoes that I've ever seen of a man. And I was like, one day I was like, why do you have so many shoes? It's like, there's a shoe for every mood and every season. And that is always my excuse when I shop. I'm like, there's a shoe for every mood.
There's a shoe that matches his outfit
mood.
better.
There's a shoe that matches every mood and matches every season. So my brother was my greatest.
Oh my God, that's so inspiring.
Model.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
Thank you.
So obviously, you've experienced loss, personal loss, just about your brother, myself, my dad, and with the passing of experience with the passing of your brother. If you feel comfortable sharing, how has that experience, the bereavement, losing your brother, shaped your perspective on life and what matters most to you?
My brother died when he was 44, so he wasn't ill. He just died on a plane crash, and we never got his body. So the plane flew and came down within 3 minutes. So it wasn't like he was ill. So it didn't give me an opportunity to even show him that I loved him or care for him or be around him. So he was well, and then the next day he disappeared. That's how it is. But that experience has taught me that we might not have enough time as the time that we think that we have. So I've said about being kind to people. That's very important. So that the sudden loss of my brother has made me to appreciate the fact that time is limited. Celebrating people, celebrating life, whatever reason. So for whatever reason, I just celebrate big. My son is graduating, I'm throwing a big party. It's my birthday, I'm throwing a big party. It's a milestone, I'm throwing a big party. I look for reasons to celebrate because I don't know how. I pray and I have faith that, I will live long. But I don't know.
Nobody knows.
It's dependent on God.
Yeah, nobody knows tomorrow.
Yeah. So I'm going to celebrate my friends. I'm going to make opportunities to celebrate their milestones. Our friends have been doing destination parties and we've been going because these are the you can only make memories. So I'm very intentional about making memories. You know, I look for a reason to celebrate, to make memories, to make a big deal out of nothing. Yeah, it keeps me happy, and know that I have memories, I have pictures. My phone is filled with pictures, you know.
You like taking pictures. Even your sons will say, "Oh my God," because you are their paparazzi, everything.
They don't even answer me anymore, but I've gotten a machine that I can just place my phone. I can just place my phone and it takes
multiple pictures, so you don't need them. You've outgrown them now.
Because I can't control that.
Exactly.
I can't control and force them to take these pictures anymore. So
I share with your perspective, honestly, both me personally and also from my dad. So I've talked about this before. So my dad passed away from dementia. This was 2020. My dad was my rock, you know. I'm not ashamed to say I'm a daddy's girl. I'll forever be a daddy's girl. My mom, I was my dad's side chick. You know what they call So anytime I know that my dad and mom are slightly not in good terms, he would just say, I should come to the front seat. So my dad never would say, who was standing at the altar and saying and reciting their vows? He was like, well, I'm trying to figure that out now. Anyway, he took care of us. He was sacrificial, like you said about your brother. My dad would do anything morally and legally, you know, right to do to find, you know, find how to make things happen for us, provide for us, and what have you. And also, my dad was semi-illiterate because growing up, you know, back in those days, his dad was a farmer and they had multiple wives, and the aim was because of labor force. They needed people to farm the lands. So by the time he just managed to finish primary school, and even with that, with a lot of challenges, he would tell me stories that his dad would come with a basket and machete, come to his primary school and literally chase him out of the class to the farm. So in as much as he loved education, he was passionate, but he didn't have the opportunity. And my grandfather was a product of his own environment. That's what he did for his father and all of that. So he always, and he swore, he said anytime he has the economic means, he's going to train his children to acquire the highest quality of education. And that's why we're here today, because of that sacrifice. But what I want to say is that my dad, you know, migrated from the village, say, for example, in Canada, Newfoundland, maybe back in the days in the 40s, 30s, and he wanted to go to a bigger city, for example, Toronto, Vancouver, and for greener pastures. So he came there with just a box, a cardboard box from his village to the city, and he worked hard from ground up, and you know became successful in his own right, like having real estate businesses, importation, all of that. But what I'm trying to say to relate with what you're saying is that he didn't procrastinate, but he used to say, when I finish training all of you, I will now go back to school. I will now do this. He had his own personal goals and ambition, but because of duty, you know, marital duty, family duty, children, he kind of put that at the back burner. And that's why I talk about my dad. I just feel so bad that he provided us the best, but he kept saying, when I retire, he would do this, he would do
and
that.
Then he fell ill.
And then at 65, dementia hit him. So he didn't have the chance to, you know, achieve his own personal goals. So what I learned from my dad is, I agree with you. If anybody has any goals, ambition, even if you want to
now
go skydiving.
I've made the host cry.
So even if you want to go skydiving, whatever, anything that is in your your bucket list, it's time, because nobody knows tomorrow.
Nobody.
And that's what I do for my for every milestone, like every year. I'm intentional about what I want to do. Like when my dad died, I was like, okay, I've learned from that, this is a learning, So for every year, I always have a theme for each year, what I want to do. That's the time I went to like weight loss, what I want to do. Okay, I want to write a book, I want to do this. So every year for me, it's not about the cakes and, going shopping or whatever. I want to be in a state of balance which is well-being, where my spiritual, my mental, my psychological, my emotional well-being, they're all in a state of balance. And that is where you start to achieve, you say that's that well-being perspective. So every year I do that intentionally because I recalibrate where I'm coming from. I'm grateful for where I am. But then what are my goals and my ambition? I could renew them. I could cross them off the list. Oh my God, I achieved it. Like I use that day as a day of reflection as well as gratitude and joy for me. So thank you for sharing that perspective for us. So I want to ask you, what message would you like to give someone listening today, especially someone navigating grief? I might not be the best person because I'm still crying years after my dad passed on. Change or rebuilding to take away from their story. I mean, from your story, what message would you like someone listening, that is navigating grief?
Okay. I'm going to first say that we're lucky to have been loved. Yeah, I was extremely loved by my brother. I feel very lucky that I was loved like that. It's not everybody that has the opportunity. It's not everybody that is loved. Yeah, I was loved. I was loved. So but when I lost my brother, and I would say that grieving is in stages. Yes. There was a time that I couldn't talk about it without crying. It still hurts me, but it hurts me in a different way. It hurts me in the way that, the things that I would have enjoyed having my brother in my life in the last 21 years, that's prevented that. The way that I could have shown him my love,
much is appreciated and
my
loved.
love and my appreciation, death prevented that. But I would always say to people that when they are grieving, that they should just take it easy. The way you grieve does not necessarily tell who died how much you love them. They're already dead. So in my opinion, the best way to grieve is to honor their memory, to honor their absence. So do not grieve in such a way that you lose everything that you stand for. Grief is like a pit that you can fall in and you don't know how deep it is. It can take you so deep that you can climb back out. So whatever you're doing, protect that. Protect your being. And try to show up that you can still represent that person that you lost. It's hard, but try to show up that you can still represent that person. Because that's the best gift that you can give the person who died.
Why are you saying this? This is what I did for my dad. Like, that's why I have the book titled Michael's Memories. Like, I was grieving. And through that process, I started journaling and I started writing. And I said, okay, I'm going to share his story in order to empower anyone that is going through this journey and, in any way that I can. And that's the reason why I wrote Shining Light on Dementia and as well about what he stood for. He was a lover of education. And that's why I love health promotion, empowering people with the education they need to continue to strive to become the best version of themselves. So thank you for sharing that.
In your grieving, remember who that person taught you to be. So legacy. When they are not there, you have to stand and represent them. So you shouldn't grieve in such a way that you lost all that.
Don't lose yourself in the process. Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself and take care of what that person stands for. So for my brother, I was happy that last year I was able to raise a scholarship fund in his memory because it was scholarship that helped my brother out of poverty. So I was able to raise a scholarship fund in his memory when it was 20 years that he died. And I'm sponsoring people, I'm sponsoring 2 children this year into the university. education changes everybody.
Yeah.
Changes, it gives you options.
Of course.
It gives you options. When you're educated, you have options. So I would say that, just be careful how you grieve and know that you are representing, try to show up and represent your loved one.
Of course, when they're ready.
Yeah.
And the truth is that with years, the burden you carry could become easier.
Yeah, the grief would change.
And there are times when I remember my dad, I would just laugh. I would say, gosh, Dad, so used to do this.
Yeah.
Before, I couldn't laugh for a couple of years. I mean, when I laugh, I mean like belly laugh.
Yes, the grief would change.
Yes.
The grief would change. For me, I just remembered this and I was running with it. So it was later that I grieved, and I grieved publicly on Facebook, writing about my brother for years, and I'll be writing about him and I'll be crying.
Yeah.
But that helped me. So that's for grieving. For change, what will I say about change? Change is not easy. Change is
adjusting and adapting.
Adjusting and adapting. But just be kind to yourself and be honest and say, what is the good thing about this change? And hold on to that. Am I going to learn something great from this new boss? What am I going to learn as a new skill in this job? I mean, what opportunities does this new environment give me? So see it as the opportunity that this change is bringing.
Yes.
And then you can run with that. You might have challenges, but when you remember that this is the opportunity that this change might be giving you, then you are able to, have fire to keep going.
Why are you ticking all the boxes for me? So this is what happened for me. So in December 2019, I already made contact. I've forgotten the realtor's name. To go and view an office space for me to establish my clinic. So we booked January 6th, 2020. And around 3 a.m., I got the phone call that my dad passed on January 6th. So the first thing most people say, you cancel the appointment. For me, the best way of, I showed up.
Yeah.
I showed up. And I told the lady, and she was like, oh my God, you could have called me or you could have texted me, but I've cancelled.
But my dad would want me to be here.
Exactly, that's what I told her. Exactly. Yeah. So I was there and I told her exactly, I said, my dad was into real estate, he would build apartments, this is that.
He wouldn't want me to hold my life because it's not here.
Exactly.
He would want me to go on. I'm grieving and I'm sad and I might need medication, but I will show up.
Exactly. So I showed up. I mean, she wasn't herself. She was like, kept looking at me and all that. So, and then I went to work. My dad, my dad as always he was obsessed with medicine. Because during the war, civil war in Nigeria, he was like a healthcare, people that they trained people up to to minor injuries, whoever had the passion or whatever, they would just train them up and, do this, do that. So injured soldiers, people were dying, So he loved that. And he was hoping that one of his children will take over and, become a doctor. So when I graduated, oh my God, it was like a peacock with his, all his African attire, with his red cap chief, because he was a chief everywhere. And even when anywhere, the first 6 months I lived with him after we graduated, we would go to banks and everywhere. We say, have you met my daughter? She's a doctor.
I love it.
Have you met my daughter? She's a doctor. She graduated from the premier university in Nigeria.
Yes.
She's a doctor. So that was what was playing in my head.
Yes.
So I went to work.
Yeah.
So I told them that this will happen. They're like, oh my God. I said, don't worry. What we're going to do is that I have X number of patients. You start from the bottom and start counseling. Yeah. I will start from the top and still be consulting, and we'll meet halfway. Yeah. And then I now took 2 weeks bereavement after that. But what I'm trying to say is what you're saying, that that was the best way at that time, because my dad passed away in Nigeria. At that time that I was grieving so much was to honor him. I knew that my dad was going to come find me. Well, I just believed that his spirit would show up, and I didn't want him showing up and not doing what he loved for me to do. And those two things, I held on to that at that time in dying it. So I agree with you. That's exactly what I did. So thank you for highlighting that.
Yeah.
with the tears and laughter and cakes. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching. And before I go away, I want to say a big thank you to FTDC's restaurant for, catering for the cast and crew of Talk with Dr. Agnes. And we'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back. And I'm so excited about this segment. One for all the cakes. I told you that it's my birthday. And it's time for the audience questions. So do we have any questions from the audience? Okay.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Do you want to stand up?
No, be comfortable. Yeah.
Thank you very much for putting this together. Busola, I really enjoyed listening to you. It felt really natural, and some of the stories are actually relatable. Talking about grief from both sides. I lost my dad in a plane crash as well.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. And then my mom, we noticed early symptoms of dementia. I talked to Dr. Agnes sometime last year. She was coming down to Canada to join us for a birthday, my husband's 50th. And then she turned back on her way in Germany.
Oh, I remember that story. Thank you for sharing that with me.
It was really tough on us. But anyway, let me go to the question to Busola. I love the cake. It's beautiful. Do you have plans to maybe do this as a business, maybe like a retirement plan, later on in life?
I'm so sorry, Tom, for your loss. Yeah. A sudden death is very hard. And so a plane crash is one of the worst ways for someone to lose a loved one. So my condolences. It's late, but it's still part of, I love being an accountant. I love the figures that I work with. I love the fact that the figures are accurate. So I love that. I have always used my cake business as a creative outlet. So, because when I always tell people that there's only one right answer in my accounting, it's either it's 20.5 or nothing else. For my cake, there's avenue to make mistakes. And for cakes, I discovered that even your mistake can be the most appealing thing eventually. So it gives me creative flair. I don't think I want to do it as retirement because it's quite hard on the body. Cake making is quite labor intensive. I've always had to struggle with backache, that I have to, so I don't think I would want to do that. But saying that, I would also still want to keep baking for as long as I can possibly do, maybe I do it as a side gig now, limited, because I'm busy at work, but eventually I will want to still continue baking for as long as I can, especially for my family and friends, even if I'm not doing it as a retirement. I don't think I really want to do it because it's really labor intensive. Yeah.
Any other question from the audience?
Yes, I do. A beautiful segment, and I really love hearing your story. It resonates a lot. You mentioned the word lucky and being blessed and favored, but I wanted to ask, looking at your journey, how much of where you are is luck versus intentional decisions that you made? Because I think that a lot of people, they will concoct this mindset to think that, when persons have, in quote unquote, arrived, like it was just luck. But sometimes it's just having that mindset and persistence in invisible seasons where nothing is happening, but you have to keep going. So if you could decipher between that luck and that intentional decisions, and also fate guiding those decisions to where you are, because it's a remarkable accomplishment to hold such a prominent leadership position at the Halifax Chamber of Commerce, especially as a woman of color and an immigrant. So that's part one. And also, what advice would you give to other immigrants who are in their earlier chapters and they have not reached this level of professional aspirations as yet?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so would I say lucky? Maybe it's just the spur of the moment. I don't think anything that has happened to me has been out of luck. I would say most of it is the hand of God, the hand of God that, how can it ever happen that I end up living with a family that lives above my brother's friend's flat. How can that ever happen if not for the hand of God? It's the hand of God, and it's just the way God. But I would say all through my life is still the hand of God, that, I was led there, and they were a good family. They took care of me. So it's the hand of God, in saying that the hand of God, I would always say that I've always done physically everything that is possible to do for the hand of God to get me there. I will do my part. I will do my accounting. I did my qualifications. I did my studying. I was intentional about it. Then even when I decided that I was working in a very good organization and I was working remotely, and I decided that I needed more experience in other leadership, other leadership skills that I was not getting in my last role. And so I was very strategic. I wanted to work only in the not-for-profit space, because I had worked in big organizations in the UK, and I just felt it didn't suit my personality. I liked seeing how I can impact things and just be in a small team. So I was quite strategic. It took me a long time. I chose the organizations that I applied to. I just didn't apply. You had to be a not-for-profit, and you had to stand for what I believed. And so I would not send my resume. There were a lot of interviews that I had done that I was sad that I didn't get. And that's also saying the opportunity. I'm grateful for my last boss that saw
The potential.
the potential in me and gave me the opportunity. And I will continue to say, you can be as good as you can be. If people don't give you that opportunity, you will still just be where you are. So you definitely need people that believe in you and are willing to give you an opportunity, not because you're perfect, but because they can take a bet on you. And nobody is perfect. Everybody is learning different things on their job. Even your boss is learning different things on his job. Yeah, so I would say being strategic, knowing what skill you want to gain in an organization, knowing what you want to gain in an organization, doing your best. You do your work well,
You do your due diligence.
You do your work well. Let your work stand for you. Put your best in. If you need extra training, take the training, but definitely do your own part. Make sure that the person who gave you the opportunity is not regretting it. Yeah, make sure that you're doing the best and standing for other women, standing for other immigrants, being a good source of story, for other people to trust another immigrant, to give another immigrant an opportunity. If you mess up, then you're messing up for other people.
You're messing up the chances.
But if you do a good job, then other people will see and be like, okay, this person did this person did this, and this person would also be able to do it. I would definitely say that Nigerians are very hardworking people.
Oh, yeah.
We are extremely hardworking. We want to do our best, and we want our bosses to be happy. Lots of bosses want that. And just being a general person that you're easy to work with. People are asking you questions, you are easy to work with. You're not a difficult person. You're not a difficult person. One person asks you a question and they're holding their head because you are just talking badly to them. Just being an easy person to work with is a skill that so many people do not know, that is just a winner. Just being easy to work with.
Not a pushover. No,
not a pushover, but being easy to work with. Being there on time, delivering your reports, giving your opinions. Giving an advice in your realm of duty, not just sitting there, but being easy to work with. Yeah, some people can deliver, but they are difficult to work with. People don't want to work with them because they're just difficult people. Yeah.
I'm just going to add to that. I agree with you about impact and being strategic regarding where you want to work. Same thing. I have a clinic in Sackville Drive, but I got to a point where I wanted to, in terms of impact education, especially for people from underserved communities. So, for example, in Dow, whilst I'm an assistant professor there, but in the faculty, I'm actually the only Black faculty doctor, not the only black doctor endowed. No, I mean to be in the leadership, like being the faculty. So I'm the first black female physician, family physician in our Dalhousie Family Medicine. So when I got this job, it wasn't just for me, but for other people that are coming after me, is to open that door and challenge those barriers and make an impact, so that, like, I agree with her, it's easier for there to be more recruitment for other doctors coming after me. So I see how people, residents that's trainee doctors that are training to become a family doctor, how they resonate with me when they see me and we share immigrant stories, and they appreciate that. They feel seen, they feel heard. It's like indirectly they're creating a space where they can thrive, when you can actually, where they feel comfortable to shine, just because they see someone that looks like them and they aspire to become that person and even better. So that it gets to a stage in life where you're like, okay, what am I doing? How can my skill impact other people's life and impact the community I'm in? So that's I agree with you in terms of that. So I have my colleague here, her husband. When not if you decide on what you want to do, then the next thing is to decide what are the things that I need to do to get me to where, or help me to achieve this outcome. Then, of course, we went to medical school. Then from medical school, what are the training and experience that I need to gain? So you need to be strategic for almost every move, and to get you to where you want to be. And the sky is the limit. There will be barriers. We faced a lot of things. She kind of hinted it in the UK, where you have the opportunities, but then you don't have the opportunities, but you have the qualifications. So you face all those barriers. You will, but just like I'm going to be passionate about Nigeria, that we've seen things. We are resilient. I'm not saying you should be resilient that it breaks you, but it needs to shape you so that you can overcome all these challenges. Because apart from your home, there is no bed of roses out there, and nobody's going to hand you something just because you are the most qualified person, or there's a lot of parameters in place. You have to be, your personality matters, how you shine through, how you communicate, how you make your colleagues feel seen and heard, and also your qualifications, and a lot of parameters that goes into all this. So this is with the stage where we are. We old now that we're looking at.
I'm not old yet.
Exactly. So anyway, so thank you so much for that question. I hope that addresses your concern. Okay. Any other question? Thank you.
So thank you for sharing everything you shared with us so far. It's been a beautiful conversation, a beautiful time. And I just wanted to confirm, just to ask, what has been the challenges that you faced, before you rose up to the ladder, being a director, like in the workplace? What has been, like, I want you to maybe name them, and how you were able to navigate those challenges in marriage, your career, raising kids, family, all of those deliverables and the things that, that you were expected to deliver on. What were the things, the challenges you faced, and how were you able to overcome those challenges to become the person you are right now?
Yeah. So how did I overcome challenges? Okay. There was a time in the UK that I think that I stopped being ambitious. I felt that I was trying and I was doing my work well, but I wasn't being celebrated. I wasn't the person that was chosen when it comes to being
Promotions.
Yeah. And I just kept doing my work, but I didn't think anything was going to come out of it. So what would I say? I would say that wherever you are, just know that always try to be in a good place, because your environment matters. There's no need to be in a toxic place. You're just going to be fighting a war that doesn't need to be fought. You're not going to be seen. So that's why I said that I'm grateful for Canada, for the opportunities that Canada brings. That's very important. So wherever you are, in terms of studying, getting my qualification, it wasn't easy. I used to have to get up because I've always worked. I never stopped working to study. I was working and studying and having my family. So I used to have to get up at around 5, to study till like 6:30 every day, while I had just one child then. And that was another reason I wanted to finish my qualification, my accounting qualification before I had my second son, so I was strategic about even my child spacing to work with my with my career. So I used to get up at 5 to study before I got my older son up and got him ready for school. And I used to go to school on Saturdays. So some people would say that they want to study by themselves. I knew that because I didn't have time, I needed to go to school. I went to school over the weekend so that I didn't have to do so much studying. I was just revising what my lecturers would have told me during the
classes,
week.
yeah.
Yes. So I will prepare like that. And it's hard. It's very, very hard. As African women, you know how long it takes to make a pot of soup. It's very hard. If you are going to make a pot of soup, you probably will be there for 4 hours, 5 hours, just making one pot of soup. So all those type of things affect how you eventually, show up in terms of your studying. But I've always seen timing. I try to time my things, and I still do that even now. That I'm not studying right now, but I still do. Okay, I do a Saturday that I'm cooking and I'm storing it. I do a Saturday that is my self-care. It's about timing, and there are some certain times that I'm going to the gym on this time. I've just read that you have to take care of yourself to be able to show up.
Yeah.
And different things matter to different people. Showing up well matters to me. I don't want people to disrespect me because I'm showing up slobby. I want to come and I've earned your respect by my appearance. You might decide to disrespect me, but that's on to you. But you won't be disrespecting me because I'm showing up slobby. No.
So you do.
I cannot cancel all your bias, but I know that I'll do my best to show up and to come well.
Yeah.
To show up well. So yeah, it's hard training kids. Kids is a lot of work, but when you are a parent, it's a sacrificial one as well. Yeah, there's no environment where parenting is easy. There's no environment. It's something that eats into your time. It's a time thing. So at different stages, you are making that sacrifice for time, depending on where your children are.
Yeah.
There were some times that I needed to be home immediately after work because my kids, and there are some times that I left them in school, I left them in after school club, and I picked them, so it depends on where you are, but your children are very, very important. You are building a future. You are contributing to the society by raising good kids. So that's your portion, that's critical. So I don't know if I've answered.
So I'm just going to piggyback. I'm just going to add on to that. I agree with her. So just to summarize it, it's strategic planning, organization. There's a time I wrote down every aspect of my life, and I was looking at how I was what are the tools I needed to help me, execute them. So in addition to, I agree, it's batch cooking. I used to shop once a month in terms of our African food and all that. Then I will batch cook, make different. So I have a weekend every month that I'm in the kitchen where I am cooking, batch cooking, and just prepping. So that if it's stew during the week, I just make rice and little things, but no major cooking during the week. So that's food. In terms of education, I strategically spaced my children. I have 3 kids. My first child is 23, so 4 years, 19, then 15. So I spaced them out because I was a doctor in training. working, and I needed to study, and I needed to go to work, and I needed to mind my kids. So, and then if you have the money, you can outsource. There was a time that when I go, of course, for me to go to work, I needed childcare. There was a time I had a living nanny because I was going to work, and I had a nanny. By the time I'm closed, I would do long hours, like 10, I'm getting home. All the daycare centers were closed. So therefore I needed to have a nanny who is at home and paid. So if you have to outsource, my mom told me that if you have the money to outsource resources, then you do that if that's going to be in benefit for you and your goals. So I always don't lose sight of the price, never, because if this is what you've set out to do, the world, it's not going to be easy for you to get to that goal, right? So you're going to swim deep, shallow, whatever, but you keep your eyes on the prize. We have a lot of doctors when we came in the UK that either went back home, just said, I can't take this, it's too much, it's a lot of this, a lot of that, I'm working below. But I actually worked in different, before I got my first job as a doctor, we did other jobs. I worked as a grocery cashier for a long time, and I was proud of it. And I was serving customers. I'm still in the business of hospitality. Likewise, grocery shop. Groceries. And I also worked at a doctor's office. I was, like how you call to book an appointment. It was me. So I did that back then. So different things just to get by, because I had to pay for my exams in the UK. To pay for exams in the UK, you had to go to work, and I couldn't get a doctor job because my qualifications were not recognized, and therefore I needed to do the exams in order to qualify, in order to get a doctor job in the UK. There were lots of challenges. You have to go through that. But the thing is that I was so determined. I didn't lose my eye. I focused on the goal. And that is why I'm here today. So it's not going to be rosy, especially as a woman that you childbearing, maternity, and all of that. It's a lot, but just take each day as it comes. Believe in yourself. Don't lose hope. I'm a woman of faith. Keep praying, and God will give you the strength and the resilience. And but also take good care of yourself. That's one thing I'm trying to learn now, that I didn't, not much as I demonstrate empathy for other people, you need to also have that self-compassion for yourself. You are worthy, you deserve all the opportunities, and if it means that you have to fight for it, not physical violence, but through tenacity, confidence, hard work, purpose, keep going, you will get there, okay?
I think one thing that I did not add is who you marry eventually helps you as well. For me, it does help. My husband is quite supportive. He allows me to be myself. I'm not constrained. And when I have to study as well, he was there as my support, as my cheerleader, to get wherever you are. There will be lots of obstacles. You have to be with somebody that is there on the bad days, not, is also able to celebrate you. Is not threatened by me at all.
Your success or anything.
So that's also important for a woman. It's understated, but it's quite important.
All right. Do we have any more questions? Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm just going to take it from what Dr. Agnes said now about taking care of yourself. How have you managed to take care of yourself, your health? You look good for, well, I don't know your age, but just doing some mental calculations from all the figures you've been mentioning earlier, you should probably be in your late 40s. And you look good at it. Right. Yes.
She's ageless.
So I would like to know, how have you managed to keep yourself this way? Thank you.
Okay. I love food. I love food. I hardly take any vitamins. I think the best vitamins, maybe I will start taking, but I don't right now. But I eat well. I really eat well. I'm very passionate about food. I think that food is medicine. So, I eat very well. I'm a good cook, so I'm very passionate about that. I exercise almost every day. I've done that for the past 7 or 8 years. I don't know how, I don't lose weight, but maybe because I love food, it balances out. I love food, but I exercise. I think that exercising, walking, I do a lot of walks. I swim. I swim like 2 or 3 times a week. It's just things that I've take care of myself. So every Sunday night, they know that I'm going for my swim. Every 2 days in a week, I swim before I go into work. I just make it work for myself. I tell then if I'm dropping my son for his basketball game, I will drop him and then I will walk.
I do.
I will walk.
Yeah.
So I make it work for myself. My lunch hour is 1 hour. I eat for 30 minutes and I walk for 30. And I do it consistently. I just need to get away from my desk, my lap, and then I also like a lot of social media. I go through social media. I like this dress. I like that. My mom was a very fashionable person, so I was exposed to. I just know what suits me as well. Not everything it's probably I know what suits me, and
not everything that is nice that looks good will look good on you. Yeah.
So I do that. My brother used to compliment my nails. It's very, very small thing. So I tend to still do my nails in my brother's memory. So I do my nails once a month because I just used to remember my brother loved my nails, and that, I don't know, it's so silly. It's so silly, but I do those nails for him. Yeah. I do times that I do my hair. I think that a woman should show up well.
Yeah.
I don't use wig, so I tend to do braids. I just feel that this is what I like. I've always done that. So I put in time. So once a month I have a self-care Saturday that I'm either doing my nails or I'm either doing my hair.
Yeah.
Then I have a Saturday that I'm cooking. And I intentionally put rest in my life as well now. Because I think I'm getting to the age that I realize that I can't do everything.
No.
I want to rest, and I intentionally put down times that I'm like, I'm doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing this weekend. I'm just going to rest.
Yeah. I'm just going to add to that as well. I share her. Yeah, because some of you may know me. I was morbidly obese and lost weight. Yeah, so I used to do up to 20K steps a day. I have it in my video. I will show you after. And then when she said she eats well means that it's portion sizes and knowing how to complement different, categories of food, like carbohydrate, protein, fiber, fruit and vegetables. So it's eating well. So she has strategies. She knows her portion size, right? And then you combine it. So the difference between eating well and just eating a lot of junk food is different from eating the right amount, right type of food, the right amount, and the timing as well. The timing is so important that you can't get away. Back when I was in my 20s, I could get away with eating because we'll be in medical school reading and we're hungry, then we can eat a bowl of something, your metabolism, everything. But now I can't just eat anything after 7. It's not going to sit well with me. So it's not just the size, it's not just the type of food, it's also the timing and also how you eat. The more you rush to eat your food, the hungrier you would be, because you're not giving the enzymes in the mouth time to, break it down, break the food, and then for it to swallow, get to your tummy and what have you. So eat slowly, be mindful of your eating. We call it mindful eating, and enjoy, the taste of your food, eat the right time. So I personally, my tummy have trained it that I can't really eat until 12 noon. So indirectly, that's intermittent fasting. So I can, if I'm hungry, I can have a fruit in the morning, but I'm always drinking like my tea or, lemon and lime or something, just to get me through the day. And then I now eat, and then I try to eat between 12 and 7 usually every day. So I exercise, I wake up early, I agree with her, 5 a.m. I'm on my treadmill. so I could exercise an hour on incline, just to get that weight bearing, and just generally look after yourself. I didn't used to do that because I was just overwhelmed with, work, and as a woman, we take care of other people, but who is refilling your cup? And I sat down, I said, I'm going to do what they tell us, the air hostesses, or tell us when when we were flying, to say, wear your own oxygen mask. So if you think of it that way, you have to wear your own oxygen mask so that you can be, for me, a better doctor, a better mom, a better friend, show up better in the community. And I don't really joke about how I dress. I like to look good. Yes. I like my makeup. I like everything bling bling. Clock it. Yeah, so I like to look good. Fashion is a way of me just taking care of myself, no matter how small, During COVID, when we couldn't go to spas and all that, I would just get all the bubble baths, all of those things, and I use my bathtub, if you have a bathtub, and just do that. And there are times when I just want to, I'm at home for weekend. I don't go anywhere. I love my space. I'm not lonely. I may be alone, but I'm not lonely. So all those things. So looking after your body spiritually as well. I mean, like I said, I'm a woman of faith. I have my spiritual family. I'm getting to meet them this evening at 6 a.m. where we sit together, commune together, and just share a common what we believe in, Bible and all that. So I'm doing that this evening. I see them every 2 weeks. I have my social friends. I have people that are my inner circle. Busola is part of them, part of my inner circle. So you have people that you go to that champion for they take care of you. You know that you're home with them. So all those things. So like I said, well-being, your social connection, all that. So that is what I'm achieving now, and I hope to do better with it. Okay?
Yeah.
Should we maybe sing happy birthday before we go? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Agnes. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. On that note, oh my God, Busola, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing such inspiring, oh my God, you got me to cry on my own show. And thank you so much. I hope you come back again pretty soon. We can wait to have more and more of you, and sharing your wisdom and your experience. And hopefully, I can see our audience really appreciated you coming today. And I know that they will take away 1 or 2 nuggets that they can use to implement in their life going forward, which will help them to thrive better in their life, in the community. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
If this episode today connects with you, inspires you, please feel free to share with others. Follow Talk with Dr. Agnes across all social media platforms and join our growing community. Until then, take care of yourself and each other. Keep this conversation going, and I'll see you soon.